Unnoticed by many, some people have a way of disappearing from social situations without drawing attention. They don't like to make a grand exit. They simply slip away quietly without any explanation. Sigma males have a low-key presence that allows them to blend in and go unnoticed when they choose. They don't like to announce their arrival or departure like most people. They blend in with the crowd, observing and absorbing without attracting attention. This often confuses others, leaving them to question the intention behind their actions. While this behavior can be perceived as strange or mysterious, here are 10 reasons why Sigma males vanish without warning. Number 1. They don't want to be watched and analyzed. The idea of being under constant observation and judgment can be daunting. When every move you make is scanned, it feels like you're an exhibit in a museum, always on display. It's uncomfortable, like living in a spotlight that never turns off. This is why some people choose to step away from the public eye, to disappear. They value the freedom to live without someone always watching, waiting to dissect their every action. Not all people have your best interests at heart, and being in the public eye can make you vulnerable to their bad intentions. By disappearing from time to time, Sigma males take back control over their lives and protect themselves from external influences. They love the peace of mind that comes with being able to live without constant analysis and judgment. People see them as cold, but Sigma males simply don't want to be constantly observed and analyzed. There's a saying, out of sight, out of mind, and this is exactly how they want it to be. Number 2. They don't waste time with pointless and boring conversations. Have you ever been trapped in a conversation that felt like it was going nowhere? Just for the sake of being polite, you continue to engage even though you're not interested. You stay until the end, hoping for a chance to escape. Sigma males don't have the patience for these types of interactions. This is why you might find them quietly leaving a conversation or even a social gathering when the dialogue becomes monotonous. They're not disinterested in people, they just seek depth and purpose in exchanges. The trivialities of small talk don't satisfy their intellectual curiosity or their need for genuine connection. Their departure from these conversations isn't intended to be rude or antisocial. It is a conscious choice to use their time in a way that feels authentic and enriching. While it may leave some feeling confused, it's actually a deliberate choice to prioritize substance over formality and meaning over frequency in their interactions. Number 3. They feel like an outsider on a different wavelength. The Sigma male personality is the rarest and least understood of all the male archetypes. It's not surprising that they often feel misunderstood in social settings. Their complex way of thinking can make it challenging to express themselves in a way others can comprehend. The reason for their subtle exit is simply because they feel out of sync with those around them. Their thoughts and interests often differ from the common topics of conversation, and they might feel alienated or bored in a group where they can't engage on the same level. Imagine explaining your perspective on a topic to someone who just doesn't get it. You try different angles, but they still don't understand. You may even try to change the subject, but nothing seems to resonate. It's exhausting and frustrating. This is how Sigma males can feel in certain social settings. Rather than continue to struggle, they choose to quietly leave and avoid these types of situations altogether. It's not that they think they're better, but why spend time in an environment where whatever they say feels like they're speaking a different language? This is why Sigmas often vanish without explanation, leaving others wondering where they went and why. But to these individuals, it's a simple choice. Why stay when you feel disconnected? Their low-key presence in these situations preserves their energy and avoids conflict rather than seeking attention or causing division. Number 4. They don't feel the need to explain themselves. Explanations are often seen as a form of validation, and some people just don't feel compelled to seek that kind of approval. They act based on what aligns with their values and desires, without the necessity to justify their choices to others. It's not about being secretive, but believing personal decisions shouldn't always require a public announcement. These choices are often made after careful thought, meaning they are confident in their reasons, regardless of what others might think. This mindset can be empowering, encouraging independence and self-trust, but it might confuse those who are used to constant communication and disclosure. Yet, for Sigma males who value their self-reliant nature, providing explanations is not a requirement for their actions, especially when they choose to take some time for themselves. By disappearing without elaborating on why they maintain their independence, they ensure their inner compass guides their path, not external expectations. Number 5. They've been betrayed by a close person. It is immensely painful when trust is broken, especially by someone you've considered a close friend or confidant. This experience can lead Sigma males to seek solitude and disappear from their usual circles. When serious trust is breached, the instinct can be to retreat and avoid exposing themselves to further emotional harm. It's not about holding a grudge, but about self-preservation. They prefer to step back and reassess who they can rely on before making their next move. The silent withdrawal isn't meant to draw sympathy or attention. It's a calculated step in their healing process. Vanishing is a way of taking control of the situation, reassessing their social circle, and protecting themselves from future disappointments. This self-protective behavior might be confusing to some, who may not understand the depth of the betrayal or its impact, but it's an important part of how they manage their personal boundaries and emotional well-being after such a jarring experience. They disappear to think and analyze what happened, what they could have done differently, and if they could have prevented it. Once they've made sense of the situation, they'll re-emerge and continue to move forward with a newfound understanding of who they can truly trust. Number 6. They like to vanish without drawing attention. Quietly slipping away is just part of who they are. They prefer to move through life without making a scene or becoming the center of attention. If life were a stage, they'd be the scriptwriters, not the actors. When they decide it's time to take a step back, they do it subtly, making sure their absence goes unnoticed. It's not that they want to be mysterious, it's just more comfortable for them. Avoiding drama and not making a big deal out of their departure is their way of staying true to their nature. They love their privacy and believe that not every move needs to be announced. This helps them maintain a sense of control over their lives and interactions. It is also a sign of their independence. They don't feel the need to explain themselves or their actions to others because they are confident in their reasons and decisions. After all, they find peace in solitude, where they can be free from the expectations and the often overwhelming noise of social interactions. When ready, they return on their own terms, with a clear mind and renewed spirit. Number 7. They need to recharge. Being constantly surrounded by people can be draining, especially for those who value their alone time. Some individuals just need a break to restore their energy. They vanish to find peace and quiet, away from the chatter and the hustle of social interactions. Think about it like your phone battery. When it's low, you need to charge it, right? It's the same with people who disappear for a while. They're recharging their personal battery. They're not running away or being antisocial. They just recognize the importance of self-care and the need for personal space to maintain their mental well-being. It gives them time to think, reflect, and enjoy their own company. After this period of solitude, they often return feeling refreshed and ready to engage with the world again. This behavior might seem odd to those who thrive on constant socializing, but for these individuals, it's vital for keeping their balance. When they quietly step out of the limelight, it's their way of ensuring they can be fully present and authentic in their interactions once they return. They understand that to give the best of themselves to others, they need to take care of their own needs first. Number 8. They don't like being the center of attention. Shying away from the spotlight is a common reason these individuals prefer to stay in the shadows. They feel more comfortable in the margins, where they can observe and participate without the expectations that come with being the focal point of a group. They can stay in the spotlight for a while, but it's not sustainable in the long term. Just like a Tesla car, it can reach high speeds, but it can't stay at that level for too long without recharging. So when Sigma males have had enough, they quietly step away and allow others to take the lead. It's just not their preferred role, especially when under the watchful eyes of others. They are not shy or lack confidence. It's just a matter of personal preference. They find comfort in being behind the scenes and contributing in their own way without seeking attention or praise. This may seem counterintuitive to some, especially in a society that values extroversion and being the life of the party. But for these individuals, being in the background is where they can truly thrive. It allows them to focus on their strengths and contribute in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling, without others' expectations or judgments. And when they do decide to step into the spotlight, it's because they have something valuable to share, not just for the sake of being noticed. Number 9. They need alone time to recenter themselves. Alone time is like hitting the reset button for some people. They use this time to clear their minds and find their center again. Without it, everything can become too much and they can feel lost. It's their way of processing their thoughts and feelings without distraction. They aren't trying to be rude or cold by vanishing. They're just taking care of their mental health. Life gets busy, and being around others nonstop can make it hard to listen to their own thoughts. So they step away to tune into their inner voice and make sense of their experiences. This quiet time helps them understand themselves better. It strengthens their inner compass, so when they return, they become stronger and more sure of themselves. They might disappear without a word, but they're not forgetting anyone. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes we need to take a step back to recenter ourselves. Just like a puzzle, sometimes we need to pull back and see the bigger picture to truly understand where all the pieces fit. This is what Sigma males do when they vanish into thin air. They take a step back to gain perspective and find their balance once more. Number 10. They value their privacy and prefer to keep a low profile. Maintaining a low profile is deeply ingrained in their character. Privacy is not just a preference, it's a necessity. In today's world, where social media can blur the lines between public and private life, they choose to stay out of the limelight to protect their personal space. By avoiding the public gaze, they shield their life from outside scrutiny and maintain control over their personal narrative. They believe that not every aspect of life needs to be broadcasted or shared, so they carefully select the moments and facets of their lives they wish to reveal. For these individuals, life is not a performance to be rated by an audience, but a journey to be navigated on their own terms. This approach allows them to build genuine connections based on mutual respect for boundaries and privacy. When the world becomes too intrusive, they pull away to preserve their sense of self and the sanctity of their private experiences. Withdrawing for a while is not an act of avoidance, but a way to protect and maintain their inner peace. In a noisy world, sometimes the best thing to do is to disappear for a while and focus on the things that truly matter. And for Sigma males, their privacy is one of those things.